So good evening everyone. So I want to cut like a palazzo, ankara palazzo. So what I have here is 3 yards. This is 3 yards. Let me check. I have 3 yards here and I have my measurements. So this is very easy to make. Very easy to make, right? So sometimes I like to just put them together, just fold them together like this and cut together. But I'm going to be cutting it separately. And the first one I like to cut first of all, cut the front part of the pants. So I'll be using length 44 minus the band. So I like that my band is 2 inch like in length. So if I subtract 2 inch from the length of the band, I'll be left with length 40. So I'm going to be marking length 40 plus I'm going to be folding 1 inch here. So instead of 40, I'm going to be making it 41 inches. So I'm going to mark 41 inches. This is on the wrong side of the fabric. .41 inches. Then I'll make a mark. So this is going to be my starting point. So this is not, it's going to be my starting point and it's going to be my waistline. So to make sure that here is equal, I'm going to just trim, like I have like some excess here, I'm going to trim it away. So the crotch length I'm using for this is 11 inches. Remember that we have 2 inch for the band length. So if I put it like 2 inch from here, my 11 would be here, right? So my new crotch length will be 9 inches. But I want this palazzo, I want the crotch length to be as free as possible because this is not a fitted pant, right? It is meant to be free from the thigh down to the hemline. So instead of using 9 inches, this 9 inches is minus 2 inch of the band. So if the band length, if I wasn't going to be like adding an extra band and length, like adding an extra fabric to make up for the band, I will just measure or mark 11 inches for the normal crotch length. But because I'm adding a band to it and I'm subtracting the band from the overall length of the pants, I have 40 inches left. This is minus the extra 1 inch allowance for the hem to hem it underneath, right? So subtracting the band length, I have 9 inches. And I want this pant to be as free as possible, so I'm adding extra 1.5. The reason is because the owner of this fabric, she's heavy on the back side, right? Because she's heavy on the back side, I want her to be free. I don't know if you've seen that people wear pants, especially like palazzos, like wide leg pants, and then you can see that there's some friction at the back side of it, when it is heavy or where it is heavier, there is usually friction there. It's not balanced. So I want to create that balance for the owner of this fabric. And you should also, as much as you're measuring with your tape, you should also learn to use your eye to gauge, right? So the new crotch length I'm using is 10.5 inches. So 10.5 plus 2, I have 12.5. This is what I'm using in general. So I'll mark the same 10.5 here. Then I would link the points together. So this is my crotch length. So the tie that I'm using, her fitted tie is 27. Let's do it that way. Let's start it from there. So if I divide 27 by 2, I have 13 and a half. So if I was making like her fitted tie measurement or a fitted pant, this is what I would use, 13 and a half, right? So I want to just add a little allowance, so that it's not so free. So I'm going to be marking 15 inches, that is 30 for the round tie measurement. So 30 is okay. So I'm going to be making use of 30 inches. So that is 15 inches. This is like a very easy way to do what I'm doing. If not, I would have said, okay, divide this line by 2, mark the center point here, and then on this point you also mark, like you take the middle part from the waistline down to the hemline, and then for every measurement you're looking for, you put the half of the measurement on the midpoint of the line, so that you get your waist. I think we are still going to do that because I need to get like the waist measurement, but it's not necessary. This is not a fitted pant, right? So this is where the 15 inches is for a start. Then for the waist, I'm going to just take out 2 inches from here. First of all, because I have some excess that I need to trim off. So instead of I don't want to just guess and just trim it this way. So let me just do 1 inch away. So I'm going to take 1 inch away. So from this 1 inch, I'm going to be marking the waist measurement. The fitted waist measurement is 32. This is 32 for the fitted waist, but we do not need the fitted waist because we're going to be adding an elastic. Right, we're going to be adding an elastic to the waist. So if it is fitted, we do not need an elastic on the waist. So because of that, I'm going to add like extra 4 inches to the waist. So this is 13. This is 13. And if you, let me give you another way to really know like your crotch depth, right? So if you're wondering, how do I know how many inch I'm going to take from here to here before I do like before I curve like my crotch depth? Usually I just, after marking like my thigh, the thigh circumference, I just go like 2.5, between 2.5, like from 2 to 3 inches, anywhere between 3 and 2 inches. I could do 2.5, I could do 2, but most times I do 2.5 and 2, 2.5, 2, but I'm doing 2 in this case. So I'm just going to curve it, then. So sometimes if you're wondering, oh, I did not take the knee length, so what I like to do is I like to divide the overall length of the pant by 2, and then the middle, I'll use the middle as the knee measurement. So basically you're not doing so much when you're cutting like a palazzo, you're not doing so much. So this is 15 inches. So if you can maintain the same 15 inches downward, but let this have like some form of fitting a little. So this is where the 15 would be. So I'd rather take like 2 inches from the 15 and 13 inches. So I'm going to mark 13 inches here, mark the same 13 inches here. So I'll just connect. So this one, I'm just going to blend it into this crotch line. Yes. So I'm cutting here straight, no extra curve, no. So here, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. So excuse me, please. Let me check to see. Hi, Anna. Much. Thank you for joining my live today. Thank you. So we just got light. I'm trying to set my network. So I on the waistline at this crotch part of the pant, I came down by 1 inch. So I'm going to blend in the 1 inch into the waistline this way, which is what I'm going to cut. Right. But first of all, I'm not going to cut it down yet. I'm going to use this whole pattern to cut like for the back part before I cut it away. Oh my god. Sorry about that. Nepal has been really funny since morning, and at this point I can't put on the gel anymore. You know, so right. So I'm going to also take out this one. So this is the front part, right? So I'm going to use it to cut out the back, right? So usually I like to just flip it this way so that we don't waste so much. So the extra allowance I have here is sometimes it's not really necessary when you are making like a pant to add extra allowance to the back because it's very big. The front part of the pant is already big and the back side as well. If you cut the same thing. Hey, see, I'm live. You never see her. Hey, I mean, you do live. Yes. Hey, you did live. I want to collect the number. For who? Which was this one? Which one? This one right there. I know that. You know what? Winner. Eh. She know the house. She know what she was doing. So I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. So usually it's not really necessary to add extra since it's already like big. The front is already big and the back is big, right? But I'll just add 1 inch like all around just on this part of it. Add 1 inch. Oh my god, this is one of the most chaotic life in my entire life. Neighbors just keep coming. Nipa is doing their yes, so and I'm going to extend the crotch line to the back side, but then I'm going to come down by half of an inch. Then I'm going to add half of an inch to the crotch line as well. So if you can gauge with your eyes, you should, but if you cannot, then you should just use your ruler, your measuring tape. Then on the waistline, So on the waistline, I'm going to go up by half of an inch. You can go up by 1 inch, but I'm going up by half of an inch. Then I'm going to blend it into this line. So at this point, I can cut the 1 inch that I came down on the front waistline by. I can cut it now. But before then, I would love to just, first of all, start it this way. Just got the same thing here. Add like half of an inch. So I'll take out the first two, which is for the front, you know, and I'm going to come down by 1 inch. So this is the front. This is the back. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to, you know, close this. So close this, you know, join this together. Also close this as well. So this is the back. This is the front. Right. So the next thing you should go ahead to do is to cut out the band that you're going to be using. So I feel like, okay, I'm going to use this. Yes, I'll just like completely cut this away and use. I'm going to use this because the length is, yes, 4.5 is okay, you know. Yes, pretty much what I want. It's okay. Currently, we don't need this. So this is what we have, you know. So to know what the length is, I'm going to just measure it. Okay, I have almost 2 yards, which is like way bigger than the waist. So this one I'm going to be using to encase the elastic that I'm going to be using for the waist. Yes. So for some reason I can't use my sewing machine right now because we do not have the means, and I was trying to, you know, set up my tab to just use, and it's not working. I think the network is bad, so I can't use my tab. But thank you very much. I think I'm going to be continuing this video whereby I'll be heading to my sewing machine to start joining them. I'm going to be continuing that later, much later, right? So thank you very much for joining my life today. Yes, so I guess I'll just have to do it now. Thank you, Anon. Thank you. Blessing Edochie, thank you so much. Pardon my up and down, my ups and down. First of all, light is really giving me issues right now. Um, Thank you. Thank you so much, Blessing. I appreciate you. Thank you so, so much.